Good day. I will be discussing today about William James' concept of self, the I self, and the me self. So, William James divided the self into two main components. First is the I self, or the thinking self. So, it talks about I self reflects a person's soul, or the knowing self, or the subjective knower. It represents the mind, or pure ego. So, when it talks about I self, or thinking self, it is mostly capable in thinking, reflecting, and making choices. So it is also the active part of oneself, being conscious, aware, and um, have the capability to reflect. So example on that is um, may parating na exam or coming exam, and a person choose to study instead of watching TV. So um, the person has the ability to think, to reflect, and have a choices. So mas pinili niya mag-study instead na mag-watch ng TV for his or her um, good outcomes naman, na study siya para makakuha siya ng mataas na score. So the second is the me self, the empirical self, the known self, or the object of knowledge based on personal experience. So when we talk about me self, it talks about we, or a person's direct experience on. When we talk about also the empirical self, it talks about observable self, or based of oneself, or perceived by oneself into his or her actual experiences, or a direct experience. So example on that is when you have when you describe yourself, or like when you describe yourself in front of the others. So like, I am a student, so you know yourself, or object of knowledge is based on personal experience. So you experience as a student, so nagpapakilala ka as a student. So I'm a student, me. So other example is you look into the mirror and recognizing yourself, such as I have brown hair and a blue eyes. So you recognize yourself in front of the mirror na this is me. This is my direct experience. Next is the me self has three subcategories. First is the material self. Physical attributes and material positions that shape one's self-image. So when it talks about material self, it is not about a materialistic self. It talks about the satisfaction of a person, and it is the way it represents her. So it also talks about the social status of a person's, and it is perceived by the self, perceived through the senses of physical experiences. It's also about, it talks about the aspects of the body positions and the material objects in anywhere, or the part of the persons or oneself. So example on that is in the body, such as I am tall and athletic person. So the person see himself that is a tall person and an athletic person. Second is in the aspect of positions such as I own a house and I have a car. So that's what is the material self. Like, you have that kind of things that makes you feel satisfactions, or isang pangalan ng isang tao. So fourth, no, the second is social self. The version of ourselves shown in social situations, people, often have multiple social selves depending on context. So we people has its social self, which is being an aspect of interconnectedness in the society. So the social self refers to the aspect of the self that is shaped by social interactions and relationships. It is self. It is the self as it perceived and understood within the context of social groups, rules, and responsibilities. So, for example, is in a family, such as I am the eldest child in the family. So, yung rule mo, the rule of himself is he is the eldest child in the family. Second is in the social groups, such as I am a member of a football team. So you, um, oneself is talks about the social groups, which is the role and responsibilities in the society or in the social groups, such as he he or she is the uh, part of a team of a football team, and also in the social self, it encompasses also this in the sense of identity, such as I am a teacher. So in the social groups, it talks about the reputations of oneself. So being a teacher is a reputation, the rules and responsibilities in society. So third and the last is the spiritual self, the innermost self involving core values, conscience, purpose, and moral behavior. So we talks about spiritual self talks about um, finding transcendence, finding innermost peace, and um, your sense of purpose and meaning. You want to fulfill and have a purpose. Hinahanap mo yung meaning, yung transcendence mo um, sa life. So, spiritual self refers to the aspect of the self that is concerned with inner values, beliefs, and a sense of purpose of meaning. So, from the word spiritual self, it seeks transcendence. It meditates, wants to deep understand what is the meaning of life, what is the purpose of oneself in this world. So, example on that is the sense of purpose, which is I want to have an positive impact in this world. So, a person of oneself wants to have a positive impact, like being a good role model or doing something good in the other people. So it also connects high to a higher power, spiritual practice such as meditate to find inner peace. So spiritual self, it's more on finding your transcendence, finding the innermost, um, finding the meaning, the purpose, and deep down understanding what is life, what is how can we fit in this world. So introspection is essential for understanding the spiritual self. Yes, it is very important because introspection um it helps us to it helps us to deeper our inner sense of purpose, the meaning, the connection to something greater than ourselves. It also encompasses to our values, beliefs, purpose, direction, and connection to the nature and universal energy. So it helps us to understand what what are the importance, what are the roles, responsibilities in the society, and how can we fit in this world. Like being introspection talks about the deep, the process that would help us to care ourselves or oneself to understand why or why not it can belong in this world. Thank you.